One thing I think a lot of black people has probably noticed, and that is all over YouTube and social media. We are the butt of everyone's jokes, and the reason being we are preoccupied with swirling, which has been made popular by the angry Cynthia G, who herself has her own axe to grind. However, as a result of being the butt of everyone's jokes, the reason being is that no one is obsessed with interracial relationships the way black people are. No other race, we're not obsessed with business. We're not obsessed with marketing. We're not obsessed with healthy families, but we're obsessed with interracial mixing. And the reason being is because we do not have any subjects to talk about. We're quite limited as to what we can say. We have lack of knowledge, and therefore talking about hairstyle and hairdressing and swirling and interracial mixing is what we do best. We have nothing else to offer. However, I want to give you my 2 pennies worth regarding this popular subject. I remember, when I was growing up, and it's not just myself, but other black men, but this is particularly, there's 3 other black guys who this was told to, but notably myself. And that was, I was not made for black women. I was made for white women. And I thought, I couldn't get that out of my head, because it is me. I look in the mirror and I'm black. That I was told by black women themselves, and I was told by black pimps, drug dealers, that, you're not black. You should go for a white girl, an educated, nice white girl. And at that time, I didn't know how to filter that information. All I saw was that black culture was so dark, so dirty, so vile, that when you become educated, when you are well spoken, articulate, then you leave that culture because you become undateable. Black women didn't want you. And these are what black girls have told me, that, you should go for a white girl. You're pristine, you got morals. And the thugs, the drug dealers, then yes, they are black. They're the real black men. And you get torn between this concept, because you thought that to be a black man was to be like Malcolm X, to be like Martin Luther King. But able to realize that transition changed. The definition of a real black man was a drug dealer and a pimp, and those who were inarticulate, who wasn't educated. So black community came through a crisis of forever challenging new boundaries and new identities. So that a real black man wasn't one that looked after his family. A real black man wasn't one that liked to read, liked to build. You became seen as white. But rather, a real black man was a thug, a Snoop Dogg, a 50 Cents, a Tupac. And if you didn't fit that criteria, then you wasn't black. You must go for a white girl. And I know of another black guy who, even though he's got a black girl, a beautiful black girl, sweet, sweet black girl. But this black guy was told he was lucky to have this black girl. That's how bad the black community is. When you're lucky, if you're articulate, educated black man, you're lucky. Not church going. Anybody, that's just stereotype. I'm talking about in general. You're lucky if you find an average, beautiful, decent, non-ghetto black woman. And therefore you're told, you go for a white girl. If you got ambition, if you got dreams, go for a white girl. Don't go for black girls, or don't go for black men. If you want ghetto, dirt and filth, then stay in the black ghetto and stab each other, kill each other, bring each other down. But when you want to act right, then you start to date white. When you want to act right, you marry white. And that's what I was told by black women, because I'm articulate, because I'm educated. Oh, go for a white girl. And that at that time, I couldn't filter it in my head. So I look in the mirror, I'm thinking, they want me to go for a white girl, and I'm black. I want a black woman. But you know something? The black community was such a cesspool, you couldn't find a good black woman. That is all stereotyped. The rap music was just defiling the black community. Rap music was forever changing, and reinforcing stereotype. That in the end, you are lucky if you even find, outside the church. Not every black person wants to go to church, right? Outside the church, you are lucky if you found a decent black guy or decent black woman. You are lucky outside the church. I remember my grand saying to me, I must make a separate video on this. My grand said to me, if you want a nice black girl, go to church. And I remember thinking, why should I have to go to church and get saved to find a good black woman? I remember saying that. No other culture has that problem. And he tells you the severity of the damage of the black community, that you have to go to church to find a good black woman. He tells you how damaged we are. People like Dr. Omar Johnson, etc., they can play a game, and Louis Farrakhan, they can play a game. But you know something? The black community is damaged, beyond repair. Beyond repair, as I said, we are the butt jokes of every race. They look at us, look at our savage neighborhood, look at our savage families, our savage dating, and they laugh at us. And yet we have no shame. I was told, because I'm articulate, I should date a white woman. And this was said to me by black women as well as black men. And they say, well, don't judge it, don't judge us all the same. You know something? There are many black guys who will still be single today, waiting for a good black woman. And maybe a few black women will still be single, waiting for a good black man, if they didn't go for white people. That's how bad it is. We have to end up dating white. And you're telling me that there's hope in the black community? There's hope? I don't think so.